Marjorie Taylor.
Hi, everybody. It's Linda G, and I'm here with Mel. I was just telling them my dream last night. Don't you guys worry. Don't you worry. Um, I dreamt that I was in this town that had a lot of Trump flags, but it was a beautiful town. But I remember thinking, geez, this is a lot of Trumpsters. And all of a sudden it was announced that Trump won the election. Jesus Christ. I was so overwhelmed, but I couldn't act out in front of these people because they were Trumpsters. So you don't want to act like, oh my God. So the next scene is in my childhood home. My mom is in her usual chair, and I'm bringing her a cup of coffee. I was excited about the coffee I made because it was new, a new brand, and I wanted her to try it. And next to her in my dad's chair was my friend Lois, who I worked with as a nurse. One thing Lois was known for, she was from West Virginia. She was very psychic. And so I was going to ask Lois, is this for real? Did he actually win? And I remember hearing on the news that the Democrats had taken everything. They took Congress, they took, the Senate, everything. Like it was a big majority. And I was glad about that. And I was getting ready to ask Lois, and I woke up. So,
Wow.
and
I'm taking notes as you're talking, but go ahead.
yeah, but what was your comment about it?
Well, I said, I think it was based on your fear as opposed to what's actually going to happen. And then I wrote, I think you being afraid to speak up was the fact that there are still people in the Republican Party that are fearful to speak up against Trump.
Yes, that's true.
Fear. But I also think it's a warning of what can happen if we don't vote. It's not, we got to vote. Everybody's got to get up.
Well, the women are the ones that are going to save us. The
Right.
young women are going to go out there and say, hey.
Well, and I think the recent elections that we just had are a bellwether of what's coming, on the federal level, because the Dems won by, it was another blue wave.
And
So
we even took out the Mothers for Liberty group.
exactly. So,
And the other thing is that people are blaming Biden for what's going on with Palestine and Israel. I'm not going to vote for President Biden, but guess what? Who would be president? Trump. Guess what he just announced? He's going to block Muslims from coming into the country again.
well, every time an election comes up, he plays on the xenophobia, anti-Mexican, anti-Muslim, anti-this, anti-that, anti-women's rights.
Yeah.
I see Netanyahu kind of using this as a wag the dog, because Netanyahu knows if he didn't have this war, he'd be in trouble. What Hamas did to Israel was horrible, but it doesn't give Israel the right to bomb hospitals and kill innocent children, or Hamas either, for that matter. I'm all about the children of the world. And so, plus, Putin is behind that whole Hamas thing because it takes everybody's attention away from Ukraine.
Exactly.
And so, but, I see Netanyahu gone at some point, and somebody coming to power like a Golda Meir, and she was a great leader for Israel.
Right.
And a peacemaker. So that's what I see.
But why would they want Trump? They're not going to vote for Biden, but let's get Trump in there where he'll block Muslims.
Well, a vote for, again, if you don't vote for Biden, that's a vote for Trump.
That's a vote for Trump.
So everybody's got to vote,
So Trump's sister died. She was 86 years old.
Yeah.
And,
I feel bad that she died.
And it was on the news briefly. They didn't lay into it, which I was glad.
Well, even you said he wasn't talking to her. I'm sure he'll use that.
He wasn't talking to her, but I don't feel him using it because I feel her family says, keep my mother or my wife's name out of your mouth.
Well, he'll probably say, I can't come to trial on certain days because I have to go to her funeral.
Maybe something like that, but he's not going to use her as a big excuse. And I bet he's upset he can't use the White House to bury people like he did his brother.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. And while I'm on the subject, I'm teasing.
And he was mad at her because she spoke to Mary Trump. And she
Right.
told her how Trump really just dipped into his father's estate and made sure, even though her father was rightfully should have gotten a certain amount, took it away.
What does that tell you when he would steal from his own family?
I know.
By the way, I just read that Marjorie Taylor Greene has drafted papers, grab this one, to impeach Alejandro Mayorkas. I think he's the head of Homeland Security, because she said he didn't do anything to stop the immigrants from coming across the border. So rather than avert a shutdown, she's going to waste energy and government money on another frivolous impeachment. But
It won't go through.
it won't go through, Marjorie. And my guide showed me one of these days, just like she's drafted all these frivolous impeachment papers against others, that's exactly what's going to happen to her.
Oh, she's going down.
She's going to get
Let's
in.
look real quick. Are they actually going to shut the government down? What's your feeling?
Well, if they do, it's suicide for the Republicans.
I know, but I want to see if they actually do it.
If they do,
Friday.
If they do, it won't last long.
That's what I got. But let me look. Will they actually do it? Let's see if the guys will give me the direct answer. Oh, I just heard no.
Good.
Hold on. Let me use this then.
Unless they put together something so ludicrous and Biden says absolutely not, then they blame him. But
will the government get shut down on Friday? It's saying no.
I don't feel
will it get shut down in the future coming up? It's saying yes. So maybe the second part doesn't go through. Something's going to happen. They're going to give it a reprieve and then something happens. Because I definitely saw a shutdown. I definitely saw it not working in their favor. They got that's a hell of a time to tell government workers they're not going to get paid during the holidays.
You know what? They shouldn't be telling government workers they're not going to get paid anyway. I mean, there's no reason to have a shutdown. Zero.
Since the shutdown that happened with Trump in office, they were going to change the rules to make sure that if the Congress shuts the government down, Congress doesn't get paid either.
They shouldn't.
And I don't know where that fell through. Every presidential candidate, including Obama, said they were going to get, what do you call the people behind scenes that talk you into voting for this bill or that bill and give you money?
Lobbyists.
They promised they would get the lobbyists out of the way, or at least deter their ability to blackmail, so to speak. And they still haven't done it.
At some point, I see legislation being passed to help curb that. I do. But unfortunately, it's not in place now.
And I know in my hospital, they had doctors that were being wooed and given all kinds of stuff. And finally, the county just put a stop to it. No more. You can't take any gifts from outside entities.
They try that here too.
And then also with the, I wasn't going to say, with the shutdown, probably in a couple of years, they will come up with, and also they're going to say no vacation until you get it done. So let's say they just barely put something, then they're going to take all their holidays and stuff. No vacation until you get it done.
Or how about you don't get paid until you get it done?
That too.
I see legislation coming to prevent these shutdowns because it's really based on them being partisan and them just, holding the government hostage. And I see your dog in the background.
Which one? Oh, Jack.
Anyway. So shall we get started with our questions?
Yes. We got lots of questions. Okay. Hi, Linda and Mel. Thank you for your Monday shows. I really enjoy hearing the info you give. Now that New Orleans have passed the issue 1 to protect women's reproductive, New Ohioans, I thought she said New Orleans, have passed issue 1 to protect women's reproductive rights. The GOP state legislature is making noise to pass something that will negate it. Will they succeed?
They're going to try to change the Constitution again, or to say that they're, when people in Ohio voted to uphold Roe v. Wade, I said, you watch. My guide showed me the Republicans there would have something else up their sleeve. And they're going to try a few more shenanigans. but ultimately they will not win.
Well, I see it going before the Supreme Court. And the
Right.
Supreme Court's going to say, no, people voted yes on this, so you can't change it.
Well, they can't change the Constitution willy-nilly just because, or override something because it was on a ballot and people voted for it. It has to go through process. I don't know Ohio law, but because of the shenanigans that the MAGAs are pulling there, it's going to turn Ohio purple. The women are not going to stand up for the state of Ohio telling them what they can do with their bodies.
Right. I don't know if you heard about this. Somebody's saying that 60 Minutes had a thing that Social Security recipients were told they were overpaid and now they need to pay back thousands of dollars.
I don't know if that's true. I can't really comment on it.
I can't either. I'm so sorry we don't. I have no idea. It's the first time I've heard this. Do you have a question?
Yes, this one is from Ellen Alden. It says, can you estimate with your psychic abilities the accumulated cost of all Trump's lawsuit, shenanigans, delays, frivolous suits, etc.? How much in total over the years that has cost us taxpayers? Because of court costs, non-payment, the total cost, and see the total cost? Oh, God. Millions. Because like she said, the court cost of the lawsuit shenanigans, the delays, the frivolous suits, how much does it cost the taxpayers because of all that, because of non-payment, all of the above.
Who? For Trump or?
For Trump. How much does he cost us tax?
Oh, he's costing us millions.
Millions. I mean, millions.
Yeah. And he's just, my friend last night was telling me that his chart, she's an astrologer too, he had such good luck. He had a very lucky chart where he could have been a contender. He could have been somebody special, but instead he decided to rip people off. And it was just like Andre said, he was getting away with it. And then in 2024, I think I can't remember when he said, maybe April, May, it started to fall. Now he's going straight downhill.
Well, it's like they say, sometimes it's not the crime, it's the cover-up.
Right. DRC says, hello, incredible Linda and Mel. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sterling saw another shooting in store/strip mall area for last week. It hasn't happened. Do our positive thoughts cancel or lessen the possibility of these actions? I think putting the white light over the realm and demanding that the energies stay put. There was a guy who got up all kinds of military gear and guns and everything, ended up killing himself before he even started.
We've got to do something about mental health and gun violence in this country. And I see at some point we will begin to address those issues.
Yeah.
A lot more than we are now.
Right.
Anyway, so I think putting in the light can help. Absolutely. Okay. Vicky Zoden says, what's coming up for Tuberville and Steve Marshall from Alabama? Will we be able to rid ourselves of them? Yes, the answer is
yes, absolutely. I see doing this, but I can't tell you when.
I see the number 13. It could be 13 days, 13 weeks, 13 months. It's not 13 years, that's for sure, but I still see the number 13.
So Peaceful and Easy said, will the media's request to have cameras in the J6 trial be granted? Now, Jack Smith doesn't want cameras, but Trump's group wants cameras because he wants to perform. I'm not seeing them allowing cameras in the J6.
I'm not either, because of Trump's shenanigans, what he would do is perform in court and make it a political rally.
Make it a political
rally. The judge would not put up with that for a nanosecond. So
I'm so busy shutting the cameras off. Shut it off. And then he'd tell Trump off.
Exactly. I still see Trump under house arrest for contempt, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm getting.
I see him under house arrest for contempt. Trump.
Yeah, that's what I saw too. Now, what's your question?
Okay. This is NINTX. Who is going to be the new Houston mayor? Runoff election between Sheila Jackson Lee and John Whitmire.
Sheila Jackson Lee.
I don't know who's the Republican and who's the Democrat. Or
I think Sheila's the Democrat.
So is he? I don't know. Let me look.
Okay, look. Is she the woman that has her hair done and wears those pretty scarves?
Let's see. Sheila Jackson Lee. Yes, but she is Sheila Jackson Lee, Texas. Let me see something. I'm trying to figure out. It doesn't say. Give me a second. Oh, Democrat. She's a Democrat.
Yeah, I recognize her. She's a Democrat.
But I think isn't Whitmire too, isn't he?
I don't feel that, but she's going to win.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out. Yeah, he's a Democrat too, but I see her winning.
Yeah. Now, will California be okay? This is from Lillian. Since we have so many fires and earthquakes. I live in California and watched a video of someone predicting that Florida will be underwater in a few years. After 2025, and California will be affected in the future by fires and earthquakes. You know, that's living in fear, and it does absolutely nothing for you. And people can predict whatever they want. And, you know, even I've gotten a couple of people write about different astrologers that say Trump's chart is great and he'll probably win, and they're all frightened. You know, don't even watch this stuff. Don't watch the news and don't watch this stuff, because why would you waste time living in California, always in fear, waiting for the next shoe to fall? Just be vibrationally connected to the earth and tell the earth you bring it peace.
Well, number one, Florida's not going to be underwater within the next.
Not by 2025.
Not going to happen at all. Maybe a million years from now. Okay.
No, it'll happen, but not in 2025. At least the bottom part of Florida.
I don't see it in our lifetime, but nor do I see I see California getting earthquakes, of course, and storms, of course, you know, with climate change and all of that. Florida's going to get hit with some huge hurricanes coming up through the Gulf, all of that. But I don't see Florida underwater, nor do I see California sliding off in the ocean. I think some of that stuff borders on conspiracy theory. I really do.
Yeah, but also it's a natural progress. If you look at the earth, that continents separate, things go down, things come up.
That takes a long time. It's not
going to be. And it's been a long time. It's been a long time. But I see the bottom of Florida. I've seen my guys that told me this years ago, but it might not happen in our lifetime.
I don't think it's going to happen in our lifetime.
Yeah.
But of course, maybe that's a good way to get rid of the Satan.
Okay, so what do you see?
I get strong, weird vibes regarding the new speaker and weird vibes about his wife. What do the cards say? Well, the cards say in my head, there's just going to be stuff coming out on him, you know, that's going to show that he's not as what's the word I'm looking for? That he's not as innocent as he proclaims to be. And I'll leave it at that.
Let me look at Speaker Johnson. Somebody was saying his budget is somebody that has no background or ability, that it's like someone finally finishing medical school and trying to do brain surgery. He just is not with it. And he's getting too many people telling him what to do. He's at the crossroads right now. Yeah, there's a money issue coming up on him. Some sort of scandal. He's upside down. He's just not going to make it.
Also, some stuff coming up about his homophobia.
Yeah, there's something. Usually the ones that are phobic like that have issues themselves.
You got exactly.
He's not going to last long. He's not going to last long.
So either. I mean, he, I think he's kind of a goody two shoes.
He's a fake goody two shoes.
Correct.
So Nurse Olivia said, can you look at Melania's energy and see what's going on? What's going on with Melania Trump?
I think she's just biding her time. I think she's just staying.
She's not around Trump. I see her living someplace else.
And she's not going to want to be first lady again, that's for sure. So I think she's just.
She'd do it if he won. She would do it if he won.
Well, but I still think at some point she's going to leave him.
After he loses again and he's up for grabs legally. I see her divorcing him so she can save her part.
Correct. That's exactly right. Because she knows if she would divorce him right now, she wouldn't get anything.
Yeah. So, he used to have that ability to get through anything, and she always counted on that. But now he's going downhill.
I don't think
she can't even listen to him.
I don't think she ever loved him. I just think.
Oh, no, it was a business problem. She's beautiful. You stand by my side. They even have fake Melanias that were with him that were obviously not Melania.
Correct.
Stand-in.
I agree.
She's depressed. She's not happy. Her world's going to come crashing down. So whatever he's going to go through is going to affect her.
Good question.
Okay. What do you got, my friend?
Hi, Auntie Mel and lovely Linda. Got for entertainment purposes only. What does Mel's gaydar say about Tim Scott? Well, I'm not going to out somebody.
Hi, Tim.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I think she's asking more about his sexual orientation, but I see Tim Scott gone.
He already announced he's leaving.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he announced last night. So, he can't get up enough money to go.
But I kind of think he's going to be done with politics as well.
Oh, he will.
At some point.
Yeah, he just couldn't get anybody to give him any money. They were going on about a girlfriend. I think they wanted to say, see, he's not gay.
Even if he is or isn't, it doesn't matter. But if he's going to be homophobic and be a Republican homophobic, then that's hypocrisy. Yeah. So, behind closed doors, he gets to do what he wants to do, as long as it's among two consenting adults. But I still think he needs to take a deep look at himself and be who he is, as opposed to what he wants, what he thinks people want him to be. And I'll leave it at that.
I never picked the gay vibe from him, but I didn't pick any vibe from him.
No, I didn't either, to be honest with you.
Okay. This is interesting, Maddie. Do spirits come down with the intention to do bad in order to grow spiritually?
Say again?
Do spirits come down with the intention of doing bad to you in order for you to grow spiritually? No. Well, what I found out was when I started to energetically connect to the realm and told them, what can I do? Where is my part? Bad things started to happen to me, but what you would think was bad, like my divorce from my last husband, that was pretty traumatic. But at the end of the day, best thing that happened to me and catapulted me forward. Cancer happened to me. You would think, oh, that's terrible, Linda, but it catapulted me forward. And the outcome was, had these things not happened, I would not be where I am now. So don't always bless the bad things. I know that sounds crazy. Bless them, because in the end, they are answering your prayer, but sometimes it's in a way that you think, oh, I'm being cursed, but no, that's not the way.
And that's what I put. Sometimes it's really not a curse, it's a blessing.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay, what you got, friend?
Okay. Larry Summerlin says the recent arrest of a prostitution ring, is there a connection to that Trump donor Yang or Trump properties? The answer is no.
Can I tell you, I'm not hearing word one about that. They announced it on the news and then it just dropped.
It went under, right.
It sounds like the bigwigs are making it drop.
It's what it sounds like, doesn't it? I think more will come out about it. But
Yeah, but it really feels like there's people with a lot of money that are saying, you better keep this shit. That's what I'm hearing.
I would rather see a week or two during the holiday season without hearing about Trump at all on the news. It would be such a pleasant holiday.
Yes.
Wouldn't it?
I really like the fact that they didn't go into the Mary Trump. Mary, towards the end, she wasn't talking to her brother and she wanted nothing to do with him. She was very disappointed in who he became.
Exactly.
Okay, so Michigan Democrat Senator Debbie Stabenow is retiring. Former representation and Republican Peter Mayer is running to fill the seat. Will he win, or will the Democrat running against him win?
What state is it?
Michigan.
I see the Democrat winning.
Let me look. Will a Democrat replace Debbie? Wait, Debbie Stabenow. Will a Democrat replace? It's saying yes. You know, the real MAGA ones are not going to win because people just don't want them to tell women what to do with their bodies.
Exactly. I agree.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Kelly asks, is there going to be a nuclear meltdown at the Ukraine plant? And that I'm not seeing.
I'm not seeing it either. I see the ETs making sure it doesn't happen.
I don't see it
They
happening.
stopped the nuclear meltdown in Chernobyl. They took up, somebody had told me about this, but I couldn't find the newspaper article. And then later it showed on the Encounters show where there was a spaceship over something 19. And I think the radiation was off the charts and it went over it. And it just, I guess it sucked up the radiation and left, and it dropped down to 8,000.
Wow. I didn't hear about that at all.
So, well, Gloria Johnson in Tennessee, who stood with the two Justins, you remember her, went against the horror known as Marsha Blackburn. Ooh. Let's look at that. You still there?
Yes, I'm here. I lost my place. Say again.
Gloria Johnson went against Marsha Blackburn.
I see the Democrat winning.
So that's Gloria. Gloria's the one that stood with the two Justins that got kicked out of the Tennessee.
Oh, yeah. I see her winning.
Let me look real quick. Will Gloria Johnson win the seat? She's trying hard. The sun is the outcome. So this is a yes. Now it shows like it might be close or some rift here, but now will Colin Alfred win against Ted Cruz?
Say again.
Can you hear me at all?
Yeah, I just have my hearing aid is glitching. Say again.
Will Colin Alfred win against Ted Cruz?
I said Ted Cruz out.
Let me look.
I've been saying that for a long time.
I've been too, but I think people in Texas are done with him because he does nothing for them.
He's not very well
But
liked.
they cheat, to get where they're at.
Of course.
Will you win? Will you win? Colin, will you win? Celebration. Good news coming. They're not able to quite predict it yet. The cycle changes. Will Colin Alfred win the seat against Ted Cruz? It's saying yes, so we're going to go with yes.
I see Ted Cruz gone. I have for a long time.
Okay. Yeah, we kept hoping every time. Okay, go ahead.
Lisa Foster says, I lost my place on here. I was trying to find. Lisa Foster says, do you see Andy Beshear? Lisa's my buddy from Fairdale, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Do you see Andy Beshear, Kentucky's Democratic governor, becoming a senator one day, or even running for president? I think he's considering a run for president. The Democratic Party would like that because he's thinking he could probably unite some of the South. I see him at some point as a vice president contender. As far as Senate, I'm not picking up on that, but I see him going beyond governorship of Kentucky at some point.
Yeah, he's just resting into, him or his family might have a few health issues, but look at this. Yes. Yes. It might surprise you. He might have a health issue that prevents him from doing something. That's
his father was a former governor of Kentucky.
Okay.
But Andy Bashir's got the looks to pull it off, and I think he's got the charisma and the political finesse to pull it off. You might be picking up his father.
Okay. Maybe. Is his dad still alive?
I don't know.
Okay. Did you ask the last question?
Yes.
Okay. My question is, we in Florida are subjected to massive gerrymandering. Do you see a correction of the maps for the next election?
I do, because I see DeSatan gone. And a lot of people are moving out of Florida because of the politics, and the housing market has skyrocketed, and people can't.
And the insurances are walking away.
Oh yeah, and so people they're moving away, and the thing that will bring down DeSatan is Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse. I've always said that. Yeah.
You don't mess with Mickey Mouse.
He said he wanted them to forget about it, but they're not forgetting about it. And let me tell you something. I don't know when the end of his term is. Ron, what's his name? Ron High Heel DeSatan. He doesn't have a chance in hell of being president.
DeSatan is like, let me beat the crap out of you, Disney. And then, because you stood up to me, let's just forget about it and move forward. That's what the coward bully does, but Disney is not going to give up. I'm telling you that right now.
I'd love to know when he
awakened a sleeping giant. He really did.
He's governor of Florida since 2019. But when does his thing end?
I don't know, but I see him out.
I just see when he's gone, everything in Florida changes. It'll be much more comfortable.
Very much so. Very much so.
Okay.
Okay. Now, who was that, me or you?
That was me.
Okay. M. Mrs. says, hello, Linda and Mel. What do you see concerning Trump's mental health at the inauguration in 2025? Please don't say he's going to be invited. Will Trump in 2025 be a figure to be reckoned with? Wow, this must be somebody from Europe. I don't even see him at the inauguration in 2025.
I don't see it at all. He would never go if it wasn't for him.
And then she says, will Melania still be his wife? I think when Trump has everything confiscated and loses, that's when she's going to divorce him. That's what I see. So I do not see him at the inauguration.
He's not well, or he's very sick. His heart is broken because it's not him up there. Yeah, look at this. He's run out of money. And then it's interesting. The 9 of Cups with the Tower means, I think we'll all be very happy to see that he got his just desserts, is what I'm saying. In 2025, people will be able to breathe easier.
I think there's a lot of Republicans hoping for it.
That's what Liz Cheney said. She said the same thing. She said, I get so many Republicans coming up saying, yeah, go for it, but we can't because we're going to lose our position. She did. She lost her senatorship. But they need that weird woman with the eyes like that.
Then they need to grow a set and speak up.
Yeah, but they won't right now. They're too afraid of him.
Start their own party.
And that's because Putin's behind them.
Of course. Of course. Okay, it's your turn.
Can we ask spirit guides to take away our fear? This is best.
Yes, you can.
What about our shame? Will they help us to not feel fear and shame? Absolutely. And you've got to be quiet in your head and your mind. Be in that When you take deep breaths, it connects you to the realm. And by that, I mean, you're in a non-thinking position. You've got to stop thinking in order for the realm to help you. So breathe, do your 3 deep breaths a day. Try to calm your mind as much as possible. If you can go outside and put your bare feet on the ground, that really helps. And then just tell them, please take away, because fear is not part of the energy you should walk around with. It'll screw you up every time. I was raised in fear. So when you just catch yourself, just catch yourself and ask them for help to relieve you of this, you'll watch what happens. And sometimes they even change, like they don't come down and deliberately do things, but sometimes they change things up so it's easier for you.
Right. I agree. No, I don't think they want us to be in fear or shame. No. Okay. J.K. Miller, do you see a peaceful resolution to the protests that are crippling Panama, the country? My feeling is the protests will get worse over the next, could be 3 or 4 months even, but at some point I do see a resolution. I do see it getting a little bit violent, but not to the point of revolution. But I see.
Where's this at again? I'm sorry.
Panama.
Oh, Panama. Okay. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you.
Okay, but that's how I see the outcome. At some point, a peaceful resolution. Okay.
Beverly says, love the two of you. I've always been curious. Did Putin give Trump dirt on some of the GOP members? I say it's vice versa. Wait, hold on. Yeah, not vice versa. Putin gave dirt on every single member. Anything he could get, he would hand it, even fake things.
Absolutely. He's part of the old KGB. They specialize in misinformation.
Yeah.
Okay. Larry Summerlin says, are there files hidden at Mar-a-Lago? I think they probably got as many as they're going to get.
No, there's still a lot of files gone, and he sold a lot of that information.
There's files gone, but I don't see them at Mar-a-Lago. I think that they've been removed.
They might be in other places.
Oh, they're in other places, clearly in other places, just not at Mar-a-Lago.
Okay. Because the FBI went in and pretty much swept it?
Correct. And my light bulb just went on, and there's going to be somebody coming forward saying where they know there's more files, and the FBI is going to find more, but not at Mar-a-Lago.
Wait a second. There's a shutdown. Hold on. State of emergency in Los Angeles after massive freeway blaze.
Wow.
Hold on. LA freeway. That's why I always leave this on so I can see. Freeway blaze. Oh, God. 10 freeway closures snarls commute after massive fire. Try not to drive. Wow. I bet you it was some big truck. Traffic nightmare. We had that in San Francisco. We had a truck with fuel blow up and burnt the top thing down, and they had it fixed, I think, within a couple of months. Okay, so it's okay. All right, so what was your question?
Jitterbug Tutu. Hello, Miss Beautiful Linda and Auntie Mel. Back in the 1940s through the 80s, if a person had tendencies toward communism or fascism, they were hauled away for intense questioning, maybe locked up or disappeared. I don't think that's true. During the McCarthy era, they might have been brought in for congressional hearings, but I don't think that people were arrested because they might have had communist or fascist ideas.
Well, let me tell you, if this was the 1930s in the Herbert Hoover time, Trump wouldn't be standing.
That's true.
He would have been considered a pure and present danger. He might have disappeared like Jimmy Hoffa.
But today she says, thank you, Jitterbug Tutu. Today she says, today the thug and his goons are sprouting at left and right. Why are they still around? Well, because in this country, we have freedom of speech, albeit as offensive as it might be to some of us. Trump has freedom of speech. He does not have the freedom to create an insurrection, nor does he have the freedom to intimidate or bully or harass people.
Yes.
That's not freedom of speech. So, you know, I just suffice it to say, Jitterbug Tutu, that Trump will have his Waterloo, and it's starting now.
And listen to Andre with this chart. His chart looks like crap. So, this is a good question. Thank you, Gil Rain. Representative Ilhan Omar is running to keep her seat. Her opponent is a moderate Democrat named Don Samuels. Will she be re-elected? Last election, she beat him by 2% age point. I see her being voted out.
So do I.
Too much controversy.
Right. So do I.
I see her being voted out. I'm sorry about that. Let me look. Will Ilhan Omar be voted in? And it's saying no. Will Don Samuels will take it this time.
Yay. All right.
You know, it breaks my heart because there's people who are like, she did that commercial that said we won't vote for Biden because of what's going on in Palestine. But Biden doesn't run Israel.
No, he doesn't.
And they haven't even handed money over yet. I've told you, of course, that's because Congress hasn't released it. But I told you that he's told them under the table, Netanyahu, dude, we're not going to be passing money over if you're breaking rules of war and killing hundreds of thousands of people. That's bull.
That's right.
And that's what they're doing. Netanyahu does not care.
No, he doesn't. He's a Trump. He's an Israeli.
I mean, I know how terrible it was, what happened, but he's breaking rules of law. That's what I saw. He will be chased out of office. But why would you not vote for Biden? And so what? It goes to Trump?
Then you're going to put Trump in office, and it's going to be worse.
It'll be worse because he's already said he's going to put a ban on Muslims coming in.
He said that before. Remember?
Yeah, he did. He placed it before. No Muslims coming into the country.
That's really sad.
And I think, was it the Supreme Court? Somebody overturned it.
He doesn't care. He's just going to say what he thinks the ultra right MAGAs will buy. Period.
And he's so against our military.
He's
a bunch of losers. If you died, you're a loser. And this is Mr. Bone Spurs.
Let me tell you something. If the military supported him and if a bunch of us started supporting him, he would change horses in the middle of the stream. He's going to go with whomever he can manipulate, period. He's a sociopath, and that's how they operate. He's very dangerous.
Which leads me to another. Do you have a question?
Go ahead. Go ahead with yours.
At the Trump rallies, he stated that they didn't need to vote. They had all the votes they needed.
What a stupid thing to say.
I wonder if his daddies were on straight. People listen to him.
I know.
I had that horrible dream that he won. I was shocked in the dream, but I will tell you now that I'm awake and with the living, I can see beyond a reasonable doubt that he's going to lose.
Yeah,
more stuff is getting ready to happen before November of next year.
There's some stuff that's going to hit the fan. Huge. Somebody says, TikTok says, hi, Mel and Linda, can you take a look at the energy for the month of December? I'm feeling apprehensive. Well, I see some more terrorist activity, but I still think maybe, there's something big that's going to hit with this whole Trump scandal and all of that. And I agree with it.
Apparently, is it January? No, for the one in Florida, that one that's going on. Apparently, they're having housekeepers and gardeners and people like that coming in, which infuriated Trump.
Oh, yeah. I saw that.
Yeah.
That's right.
I want that housekeeper that had his child to come up.
Well, Trump's going to, lawyers will try to say it's hearsay and this and that. But, after this trial's over, Trump's lawyers are going to be dog meat. Who would ever want to go to one of those lawyers after this?
I know. That one that has the pooch mouth all the time.
Oh my God.
She does that. She literally keeps her lips out.
You like this?
Mm-hmm. That's why she has a hard time getting off the chair, because her lips below too get stuck. You'll hear sort of
She looked like a complete idiot when she was outside saying something to the press. I'm like, oh my God. Sometimes it's just better for people to keep their mouths shut.
what was she saying? Do you remember?
I don't know what it was, but it was the biggest crock of malarkey I've ever heard in my life.
So let's do one more piece. Give me a question.
Okay, so Patty Sylvan Butterfly says, what do you see for upcoming volcanic eruptions in Iceland and Europe? Iceland has a volcano expected to erupt in hours to days based on current scientific ratings. It will erupt probably in days, but it's not going to be like a cataclysmic eruption. I think Icelandic
It's going to
volcanoes,
cause some damage. I just saw that.
I think they erupt a little differently. Um, Also, there is some evidence of increased volcanic earthquake activity with a supervolcano underneath Naples. Yes, I've heard of that. They evacuated, but I don't see the supervolcano erupting.
I don't see the super either. But the one in Iceland, they were showing on the news, people talking like to family and stuff, and all of a sudden that earthquake, they had so many earthquakes.
Right. I think under Naples, there might be some fissures that open up, but I don't think it's going to be, as you would say, an Armageddon quake, because Omega could be. She says Mars and Uranus the next few days, aggressive, explosive surprises. Well, some of those explosive surprises are going to be around politics.
Yeah.
So, I don't see any major loss of life or anything like that from the volcanic eruptions at all.
Well, they pretty much cleared the town out, so they're ready for. I do see lots of houses and stuff. Okay. So I'm going to pick this one. Cheryl, do you see a time that billionaires like Crow and Leo will not be able to use their influence on worldwide politics?
I see a time in this country when it'll revert back, where large corporations aren't looked at as a single entity, and that they won't be able to buy elections, nor will lobbyists or people that are really wealthy. I see an end to that at some point.
Absolutely. I see, what I just saw was a big spotlight, a big, like the old days in Hollywood, and that the spotlight's following them. That's why, believe it or not, I really feel, and it's pissing Thomas off, they're not able to give him his vacations and do anything because they're being watched. The spotlight's on them. And I just got this hit. Justice Thomas is going to be in trouble with the IRS because of some of these gifts.
Oh, I heard a huge yes with that.
Yes.
I got cold chills. So you're right on.
And listen, after this January 6th, let's just both do this together. Definitely guilty. Definitely. And that judge is going to throw him out of the court. Yeah, whatever. You're guilty, sucker. But I feel that right after that, the IRS comes in.
They are going to.
I love it. I love it. And they're going to get him good. He's going to be screaming. He's going to be screaming. He has to liquidate things. I love it.
And with Trump, I keep saying, it's a civil case going on, but it's going to be turned over for criminal in the state of New York.
It's criminal.
Federal.
Yeah, this one, this is like good because he will be found guilty. He'll, what do you call, go before the Supreme Court or whatever. He'll try to fight it. But I see the IRS coming in quietly.
Yeah, they're never going to
can I tell you, the IRS is not happy with that GOP trying to cut their pay. They even try to cut our people bootylicious to $1.
Oh yeah, it's not going to happen.
No, not with federal employees. You can't do that. They're such idiots. What Marjorie Taylor Greene needs a new pair of underwear instead of those green ones she's wearing.
Marjorie Taylor Greene just needs a new brain.
Oh, it's terrible. But she's beloved in her Georgia, in her part of the woods.
I see her in big trouble.
Okay, good.
Anyway.
Oh my God, friend, it was so fun seeing you again. We had a good time. And I'll see you next Monday.
Yep, my channel.
Awesome.
All right, darling.
Thank you, honey.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.